Hi, it's Sorka from Flirt. Happy Friday. I love that I get to talk to you guys on Fridays because it's like one of the best days of the week. Hope you have a great weekend planned. I'm going to Montana with my boyfriend for the weekend, so I'm really excited. I've never been. So I've linked my Instagram and Twitter below, and I will keep the world posted of my adventures. And if you want to follow, feel free to follow on there. So today, I wanted to talk about going gluten-free. So 2 years ago, I decided to go gluten-free. It was the beginning of my junior year of college, and I decided that I wanted to try it. It was a fad, but also a friend of mine did it for health reasons. So I went gluten-free. Another part of the challenge for me was that I wanted to lessen my dependency on carbs. So I really tried not to replace things with rice products and stuff like that. I just decided to, in some cases, do that when it was cool and fun. But in most cases, I just really tried to zone back on the carbs. Well, I felt great. It takes a couple weeks to get all the gluten out of your system, but I have little red bumps on my arms that went out, little bumps on my arms. Sometimes they're red, sometimes they're not. They went away. I stopped having stomach problems. I lost weight. Basically, there was no downside to it because I was making all of my own food, and at the time, I could afford gluten-free options if I wanted to. So sometimes I'd buy gluten-free pasta, or I found on sale gluten-free pizza dough that you could make. So I did those things and learned how to make gluten-free banana bread and stuff like that. And it was really great. However, it's really hard when you eat out or go out because gluten-free is really expensive. So you end up getting a salad, which is fine. I love salads, but yeah, it was more difficult. And I already don't eat red meat, so it was another dietary restriction that I had. But I felt awesome, so I just kept doing it until about December, so the end of the semester. And I was about 6 months in, and I was going to live in Ireland for 6 months. So I went back on gluten because it's really hard to be in Ireland and be gluten-free. It's really hard to be in Ireland and not eat red meat. So I decided to just go back on gluten. And for a couple days, I had some serious stomach problems. It hurt because gluten's pretty harsh. And so that is basically the story of my gluten-free dumb. Someday I want to go back to being gluten-free because it is just really nice for my body. But right now, it's really hard for me to afford gluten-free options, and I just am focusing on a different part of my diet right now. I'm really trying to work on fruits and veggies because I love them, but I'm not consistent about getting enough every day. So that's my current thing. But I do try to limit myself to one meal with gluten in it, just for the sake of my own health. So, if I have a sandwich, then I try to stay away from it. And I usually save gluten for dinner because that's the hardest one. Gluten-free breakfasts include, if you get gluten-free oats, you can have oatmeal. Smoothies, eggs. I used to get gluten-free waffles really cheap at Fred Meyer. If you're in the States and have a Fred Meyer, they do really cheap gluten-free waffles. And for lunch, I'd have a lot of salads and veggies with hummus and stuff like that. Corn tortillas, if you want to do tacos, and some chips, tortilla chips, are gluten-free, so that was really delicious. Chex Mix is gluten-free. Now Cheerios are gluten-free too. And for dinner, it came down to a lot of quinoa, polenta, I did buy gluten-free pasta sometimes and gluten-free pizza dough because it was super cheap. There's a like grocery outlet. And I'm trying to think what else. Like anything with rice, Indian food, chicken with rice. Yeah, so it's not as limiting as you think it's gonna be, but if you want to do it right, you really have to go cold turkey, and that's the hardest part. So let me know in the comments below if you are gluten-free and what your experience has been, if you have any good gluten-free recipes, and if you have any questions. Have a good weekend. Also, please consider donating to the Flirt Patron. Just $1 a month or something. It would be super appreciated, and don't forget to check out the new issue. And I'll see you next week.